Hey everybody, welcome to Crypto Treasure. Let's dive right in to discover the treasures of the crypto market. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 different crypto tools to actually help you survive and even thrive when it comes to your journey within the crypto market itself. Now, let's dive right in with the first one, which is the CoinMarketCap. Now, you may have seen CoinMarketCap before. I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the great things that you can actually discover using the CoinMarketCap tool. One of the first one is obviously the price. You can actually see the overall current price, right, as of right now. In this case, we can see 32,000 US dollars for Bitcoin, $1,900 for Ethereum, and let's say Binance Coin BNB, $285 at this point in time. You can also see the changes in the last 24 hours. In this case, we can see Bitcoin has gone up about 6%, Ethereum about 10%, Binance Coin about 11%, and in the last 7 days as well. And you can actually arrange them by market cap. In this case, most of the time, the default page is the one with the highest market cap, which you already know would be Bitcoin. As well as volume, you can actually filter them by the volumes in the last 24 hours, the circulating supplies, and also look at the graph, which is the price action that you can actually see in the last 7 days. Now, obviously, you can actually filter them according to what you want to see when it comes to price, whether it's category of cryptocurrencies, algorithms being used as part of the cryptocurrency itself. For example, Bitcoin will be proof of work, and Cardano or ADA will be proof of stake, as an example. You can do other filters like platforms. If you want to see certain coins or certain cryptocurrencies within that particular ecosystem, or in this case, platform itself, the industry that it is in, and so on and so forth. Once you looked at the price of each of these, you would actually want to look at, what each project means, right? So the great thing about CoinMarketCap, it gives you exactly the definition, or in this case, description of what these are. Let's take Cardano as an example. We know that currently stands at $1.14. We now want to know what it does. So in this case, we can actually scroll down and you can look at the fact that Cardano is a proof of stake blockchain platform that says its goal is to allow change makers, innovators, and visionaries to bring about positive global change. Now, you can also look, a bit deeper. It always tells you what makes each cryptocurrency unique. In this case, what makes Cardano unique. And you can actually think about, the value prop that it has for itself and how it stands out to the rest. The other great thing about CoinMarketCap is the fact that you can actually read more about this particular project when it comes to news or anything else that is related to this project. Now, you might be wondering, what else can you look at when it comes to CoinMarketCap? Some of the great things that you can actually look at in this case is the recently added cryptocurrencies to the CoinMarketCap. This may help you to actually discover new and upcoming crypto projects that you may not have actually seen before. And usually what you can actually see here is the type of blockchain it is on. So you can actually see that the majority of them are either on Binance Smart Chain or Binance Coin or on the Ethereum network. The other part of this is, which is very, very new, which is the fact that, if you have been looking at the news currently within the cryptocurrency space, you can actually see that increasingly after El Salvador, made Bitcoin a legal tender, we are actually increasingly seeing many countries in the world, in this case, which country they think is going to be the next country that would actually adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender, which is something interesting to actually look at, right? Next up, you can also see global charts, where you can actually see the overview of the current market cap of all the cryptocurrencies out there. So as July 2017, about 100 billion, right? But now fast forward to today, let's say, earlier this year, the highest peak was about 2.5 trillion, almost 2.5 trillion dollars. So it's grown exponentially. And we can also see the cryptocurrency market capitalization without Bitcoin, which is a similar chart, as you can see, which leads to the fact that, if we actually look at how Bitcoin relates to the other cryptocurrencies, you can actually see the Bitcoin dominance chart, where you can see, how much of the total market cap does Bitcoin constitute. In this case, right now we are at about 46%. Next up is Spotlight. Spotlight is a great place for you to look at what are the trending cryptocurrencies, what are the biggest gainers in the last 24 hours, and also losers in the last 24 hours. And then there's recently added, which we went through before, and also most visited, right? Which is really giving us some kind of ideas about what people are actually looking at apart from Bitcoin. In this case, quite surprisingly, right? Now, next up, apart from what we have looked at so far, let's look at the exchanges part. The exchanges part, right, is actually a place where you can actually look at what types of exchanges or places you can actually go in and buy your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrencies as an investment. And it tells you what types of fiat is supported, how many coins there are in terms of supported cryptocurrencies that you can actually buy on, and you can see how many people visit on a weekly basis. But overall, you can actually see the exchange score, right? You would actually want to invest or buy your cryptocurrencies in a platform, or in this case exchange, that has a high exchange score. Now, the next section of CoinMarketCap that I would highly recommend for us to look at is the Watchlist. Obviously, when you come to Watchlist, you actually have to be logged in. So I would highly recommend for you to actually create a login within CoinMarketCap, and you can go to Watchlist, popular. In this case, you can see the number of followers of this particular watch list. You can actually come in here and have a look at the types of assets, or in this case, cryptocurrencies or projects that big institutions actually invest in. And perhaps it give you a better idea of what types of projects that you should be looking at as well. Now, next up, we're going to be covering calendars. Now, calendars is a very, very great place on CoinMarketCap. Go to the ICO calendar, which is initial coin offering, which means that you can actually participate in some of these projects that are up and coming. You can actually have a look at the name of the project, what platform is running on. If you want to look at some of these projects, I would give myself at least 1 to 2 weeks, because usually you have to go through some requirements for you to actually participate. So in this case, we can actually also look at things like creator platform. Let's look at that. Now, when you come on these types of pages, you can actually look at, what creator platform does. And then it tells you how many tokens there are for sale, how much it costs, and how much they are going to raise, and how much is your personal cap. So in this case, if you're being selected as part of the quote-unquote whitelisting process, you can actually buy up to about $350 of your own money. And then you can actually see how do you participate in this type of upcoming projects. Now, apart from calendars, we want to go into products. And within the products, what I found most interesting is interest. Because if you are actually holding any of these cryptocurrencies, let's say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, right? All of these coins, once you click on them, you can actually see which platform you can actually earn interest from your cryptocurrencies. The very last part is learn. When I first started my journey, this particular section really helped me, especially Alexandria, because it helps you to understand what are the crypto basics, what are the things, the 101s of what crypto is all about. They give you how-to guides, they give you glossary. It's like your very own learning about the crypto space, right? So that you can make informed decisions for your own investments. Now, thank you very much. This is the very first platform that I would actually use as a tool for you to actually start in your journey. Next up, we're going to be looking at CoinGecko. Now, welcome to the second section, which is CoinGecko. In this case, CoinGecko, generally speaking, they list more cryptocurrencies or crypto projects than CoinMarketCap. So a lot of times, if you've heard some kind of projects that you never heard before, you heard from your friends or your family or anyone else on YouTube, and you're searching them on CoinMarketCap, a lot of times if they don't have it, that's fine. You can come to CoinGecko to actually look at some of these projects. Now, beyond that, very similar to CoinMarketCap, you can actually see price 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days, very much like CoinMarketCap, right? The other part is you can also look at the different categories of cryptocurrencies, very much like CoinMarketCap as well. And when it comes to the other things that I like about categories within CoinGecko is you can actually look at them by market capitalization. In this case right now, I actually seeing that a lot of investors within this space are putting a lot of money in stable coins. Perhaps they're waiting to buy the dip, or they just want to have money there to actually buy the actual cryptocurrencies. The other one, which is the second biggest one, is exchange-based tokens. As we have talked about before, Binance, Uniswap, and I think the other platforms actually have their own coins as well. So in this case, you can actually look at them and take your time to explore. It gives you an informed decisions about what people are putting their money into within the cryptocurrency space. Now, next up, I'm going to be covering is coins, and we're going to be discovering some coins. In this case, very similar to what we have saw just now, but it also gives you another perspective of some of the trending searches in this case, as well as most voted coins, positive sentiment about the coins, and you can really discover, right, as the name suggests, the different coins and things that you can actually look at. It gives you another perspective, right, in terms of what people are actually looking at. Given that CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko are probably the two biggest market data platforms that are being used, using these two platforms and discovering new coins or crypto projects might be a great one for you. Now, lastly, on CoinGecko, the other part I want to show you is resources and exploring altcoin. This is because I want you to see the fact that you can actually filter them by an exchanges. So in this case, you can see if you go on Binance, you search, you can actually see exactly what coins or cryptocurrencies are being traded on Binance exchange. It helps you because if you want to, invest in certain cryptocurrencies, you would want to actually make sure that, Binance or any other exchanges have them, so that you don't waste your time, registering for that particular exchange and that particular coin is not available. So here we go. This is the second major tool for market data and anything else that you want to learn about before you invest. This is CoinGecko. Next up, we're going to be looking at Masariio. So stay tuned for the next part of the video. Hey guys, welcome to the third in the list, which is Masariio.io. Masariio.io is a wonderful place. It's a great platform for market data. Now, Masariio.io is great for a few reasons. First, I love the research part. The research part gives me a very, very good understanding of what's happening within the cryptocurrency space. Now, one of the things that I usually go into is the weekly recap. Basically, you can actually go in and you can look at the price actions, what's happening in the last week, what has been happening to the top assets in terms of crypto assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and so on and so forth. They also cover things like DeFi, NFTs, mostly just to give you a perspective, right, on what's happening within the crypto space. Now, apart from the research part, we also look at the Masariio list. Now, Masariio list is kind of the neat kind of list because these are crypto assets that the Masariio team is actually watching. Now, when I look at this, it's quite an interesting list because some of these projects I might not have seen before. The other part of looking at Masariio.io is the screener. Now, when I talk about screener, this is probably the most talked about part of Masariio because it has such an amazing place for you to discover what other venture capitals or even big institutions, right, are actually investing in when it comes to cryptocurrencies. What I would do here is you can actually go to community screens. You can search by title. Usually I search by the word capital because most of the time, I want to see what are these big firms holding. So let's have a look at blockchain capital portfolio. So as you can see here, this particular institution is actually holding multiple assets. As you can see, there's 16 assets. And the great thing about Masariio.io is that it gives you the changes in the last 7 days, 1 month, 3 months, and year to date. And what I love about this as well is it gives you the sector, right, that each of these are in. Because I think it's very important, right, when we are looking at investments or anything else and looking at the kind of a macro point of view of what cryptocurrency or crypto ecosystem is actually doing. So in this year, you might have heard of, Bitcoin and Ethereum and DOT and Uni and all these big titans, right, within the crypto space. But you may not know what problem are they trying to solve. So in this case, you can see Bitcoin is being listed as a currency. And then we look at things like smart contract platforms like Ethereum and Polkadot, decentralized exchanges, which is like Uni, file storage, and so on and so forth. It gives you a very good perspective, perhaps if you want to look at who are the competitors, right, of each one of them. So you can actually see so for smart contract platforms, you can actually see Ethereum, you can see DOT, you can see Stacks. So all these gives you a perspective of what's happening within the crypto market as well. The very next thing that we can actually look at is also charts, different types of charts that you can actually look at. For example, you want to look at charts of how many transactions in the smart contracts are happening. You can see Ethereum is by far the largest one, followed by EOS, and then there's TRX as well. So it's a pretty good chart that you can actually look at when it comes to discovering different data that you may not have seen before. So in this case, you can actually, have a look at all of these interesting charts that people have put up, and you don't want to have to be, charting them. Next up is the last one. Basically, you can actually subscribe to the newsletter to actually read the daily insights in relation to the crypto space. That is done for Masariio and how I actually use Masariio.io. Next up, we're going to be looking at OnChainFX. Hey guys, welcome to the fourth platform we are going to be looking at for this particular video, which is OnChainFX. And the good thing about OnChainFX is a few things. Firstly, you can actually see that it has a nice user interface, where it's a nice white background. You can see quite clearly, all the names of the crypto assets, the price, the changes in the last 24 hours, the trend in the last 7 days, market cap, volume, and so on and so forth. Now you can also see them by exchange tokens, by the types of assets they are, right? Exchange tokens, dApps, DeFi, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the great part of OnChainFX if you prefer something simpler to actually look at. The next part of OnChainFX that I love is big movers. Big movers just tells you, over the last 24 hours and also the trend that we have seen. What are the big movers of the crypto assets, right? So when you see crypto, big movers and you want to learn more about them, you can actually, click through and learn more about a particular project, what this project is all about. You can also, look at things like, down from all-time high. Wow, it's about 59% down from all-time high, as we have seen with the whole crypto space in the last few months or so. So that is a good one to actually look at when it comes to OnChainFX. The third and the last one that I usually use is Wayback. Wayback is just a neat way of understanding, how far we have come since when we started on a particular day, right? So in this case, I think last year at the beginning of 2020, as you can see, Bitcoin was about $8,000. Ethereum was about $200. XRP, 22 cents. I think Cardano is only 4 cents at that time. So as you can see, if you bought it about a year ago and you have held on to it, you would have had 300%, 800%, 2,000% on Cardano, VeChain and so on and so forth. And then you fast forward to, let's say, last year, 31st of December last year was about $28K, $800. You can see Cardano as well. Yeah, Cardano 500% from 18 cents. That was only a few months ago, and so it's come a long way, meaning that if you had invested even back before the New Year's, you would have been earning quite a bit. So OnChainFX is another great place for you to look at when it comes to market data, and this is how I usually use it. Next up, and the last one we're going to cover for this particular video will be Coindesk. Alright, the very last platform for market data when it comes to crypto assets that I usually use is Coindesk. Now, primarily speaking, you can actually come on here, look at all the news that are happening around the crypto space. And so all these great news that you can actually see on Coindesk. But in this particular video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the market data, right? Now, for Coindesk, one particular thing that I love is top assets. Now, top assets, I love this because it gives you a ranking, right? What's called the Coindesk 20. Basically, it filters from a larger universe of thousands of cryptocurrencies and digital assets to define a core group of 20. These assets constitute roughly 99% of the market by volume at 8 of the largest and most trustworthy exchanges, meaning people are buying and selling, right, on these big exchanges. And basically what they say is our research-driven methodology selects and ranks the top 20 assets based on verifiable dollar volume and exchange listings. The goal is to move beyond one-dimensional rankings to identify digital assets that matter most to the market. Our research team reviews and revises the list quarterly, meaning that we're looking at this particular list on a longer term basis, right? It's being refreshed every 3 months. So perhaps if you're very new to the crypto space, this may be a good place to start to actually look at, what are people actually buying and selling? What are the top 20 crypto assets that people are buying and selling? So as you can see here, these are the top 20 assets. And perhaps these are things that you can actually look at, right? Imagine you're coming to the crypto space for the first time, or if this is not the first time in your crypto space, you can still find this very valuable for you to actually have a look at because they are being transacted in the largest 8 exchanges with the highest volume in the last 3 months. And as you can see, many of them are actually some of the biggest crypto assets within the crypto space. And also tells you about category, all the different price changes, and so on and so forth. So here we go. These are the 5 things we have covered for this particular video. And thank you so much for watching Crypto Treasure. We hope that you enjoy Crypto Treasure and come back again, as we will be diving right in to discover the treasures of the crypto market. Have a great time. Stay safe. Be blessed.